All right, Norlander, you've got a prediction segment planned. You asked me. You gave me a homework assignment.
I didn't do that to you this year, by the way. I hope you appreciated that.
Like, do you
remember what happened last year when we did this?
Nope.
First of all, I went back and listened to the episode to make sure I got everything correct. You were at dinner with your family, and I was asking you all these questions. Do you remember it now?
Nope.
You don't?
I genuinely have no recollection of what you're talking about.
Okay, we do a prediction segment every.
Do you remember what I ordered? Do you remember what I ordered?
I wasn't with you there, but I basically was asking you a bunch of questions, and you were researching the stuff on your phone when you were trying to eat with your family. I didn't do it with you this year. Okay,
well, that hammers home the point I made earlier about how I'm not Mark Few.
That's right. We normally do the Final Four predictions in this, but we did it on Monday's show. A reminder: the last year, all of us. How about this? Not just you and me. Everyone at CBSSports.com a year ago, we all had Purdue in the national title game. That wound up coming true. How about that?
I think that's a combination of we believed they would be great again, and we just wanted it. Didn't we just want it?
I think we were casting it. Yeah, to a certain extent.
I was 60% Boilermaker for much of the past year.
The closest we have to that this season is we had 7 writers offer Final Four predictions. 6 of the 7 have Alabama in the Final Four. Kyle Boone, Nate Oates' hater. Cameron Salerno is the only one that has Alabama to win it all, but Alabama is the most commonly picked Final Four team at CBSSports.com. Okay, let's get to predictions. Last year, we looked at the new coaches and new spots at high majors, and I said 1.5 coaches from the Big Six, then Big Six conferences to make the NCAA tournament. Rodney Terry did not apply. You had 3: Rick Pitino, Kim English, Grant McCaslin. You went 1 for 3. McCaslin. I went 0 for 1. I only said Pitino. He didn't make it. You were technically closer. Let's do it this year. How many new coaches and new spots at high majors make the NCAAs in year 1? Do you want me to give you all the coaches right now?
Well, let me just run through a few obvious ones that we'll both say. I'll go John Calipari at Arkansas.
I agree.
Jake Diebler at Ohio State.
Okay, so here's where it gets tricky for me.
What?
No. Here's the thing. Here, I'm going to be true to what I would have said if we did this before a single game was played, and I would have had Diebler barely in.
How many people have to be Dieblered right in front of your own eyes? I know.
It's easier for me to say it now, but if we had done this 24 hours ago, I would have been right on the fence, and I would have said Ohio State's in, but it would have been close.
Matt Painter has been Dieblered.
I know.
Tom Izzo has been Dieblered. And now Rodney Terry has also been Dieblered. Long list. It's a growing list of men who have been Dieblered.
Cal and Diebler, we agree on.
Okay.
I can give you every high major hire right now if you want to get through this faster.
Nope. I want to go slow. Slow
as can be. I got time.
Actually, I don't have time. Give me some.
Okay, here they are in order.
All right. I'll just say yes or no.
Yeah, you'll say yes or no. Kevin Young at BYU.
No.
I'm also a no. Chris Holtman at DePaul.
No.
Are you sure? I'm also a no. Mark Pope at Kentucky.
Yes.
I'm a yes. Pat Kelsey at Louisville.
Like right on the fence. What do you think?
You got yes or no?
I'm going to say yes. I want to believe in Louisville basketball. I was raised on the Metro Conference.
I'm a no. Dusty May at Michigan.
Yes.
Yes. For sure. Michigan looked damn good. Again, opening that mid-major opponent, but Michigan looks loaded. We both got Diebler. Steve Lutz at Oklahoma State.
No.
Andy Enfield, SMU.
No.
Kyle Smith, Stanford.
No.
Eric Musselman, USC.
No.
Agreed. Mark Byington, Vanderbilt.
No,
but I think they scored 100-plus points and had 1 turnover last night. That's insane. Danny Sprinkle, Washington.
No.
And then West Virginia, Darren DeVries.
No.
So I think we agree. We have the same exact 4. Calipari, Pope, Dusty May, Jake Diebler. There we go. Single-digit seeds not to dance this season. Last year, you only picked 2 of them. West Virginia, which you were correct. Northwestern, which you were wrong about. I was right about 4 of them. 5 of them, and you mocked me. I was wrong about 2. The 2 I was wrong about, just like you, I had Northwestern. I also had Auburn out of the field. It made the field, but it was gone quickly. It lost to Yale. I was right about West Virginia, Iowa, Xavier, Indiana, and Arkansas. Love for your boy. Those were bold. Those were zesty. Those were spicy. A year ago, it came true. Now we pick. I'll give you mine first. Single-digit seeds from last season's NCAA tournament that I do not believe will dance in 2025. It is a long list.
Like when you said I only picked 2 last year, I looked at the list right in front of me. It is much longer than 2.
Yeah, I'm wondering what I have that you don't, and if there's any you have that I don't, because I think we're going to be very close on a lot of these. I have, and to be clear here, I would have been, even if I decided this morning, I did this 3 days ago. I have Wisconsin missing the tournament. These were all single-digit seeds. I have Wisconsin not making it. I have BYU not making it. I have Nebraska not making it. GP will disagree on this one. I have Mississippi State not making it. I have Northwestern not making it. I have Washington State not making it. I have TCU not making it. I have Florida Atlantic not making it. I have Utah State not making it. And I have South Carolina not making the tournament. That is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 single-digit seeds not getting back this season. Who do you have that I don't?
Okay. I didn't just look at high majors. Are you only looking at high majors or just single?
I looked at every single digit.
Okay. I'm not sure about St. Mary's. Is St. Mary's going to get there?
I have St. Mary's getting there.
Okay. They might, but I'd put a question mark there. FAU, you said them?
I have FAU out. Yes.
Yeah.
They got to be out. I mean, they could get there, but I'm keeping them out.
Are you confident in San Diego State?
I am. I will not super confident, but I thought about it. But I got them getting back.
I'm going to have them in. I'll trust Brian Dutcher in that build. I think I've expressed my trust for that building before.
Okay.
Illinois, what do you think?
Yes, I got them in with ease.
I'm going to have them in, but I put a question mark beside it. I think our lists are pretty similar. Those are just some other ones that I would put question marks next to. But I think other than that, outside of Mississippi State, everybody you named is somebody I typed their names into this document as well.
Okay. There are always multiple teams that don't make the NCAA tournament despite being ranked in the preseason. So bring up your AP top 25 if you can, GP. And I'm going to tell you who I have. A year ago, you said Alabama and Villanova would be the 2 teams. You went 1-1. Bama made the Final Four. To be fair, I also had Alabama not making the tournament a year ago. So we both had Bama not making it. Then they made the Final Four. You had Villanova not making it. You were correct. So you went 1-1. I went 1-2. I had Alabama. The premise of this is, even if you don't like the picks, go with what the math says and pick your most likely candidates. So I went with Arkansas, correct. Bama, wrong. North Carolina, wrong. This year, and every year this happens, by the way, there's at least one team in the top 15 in the preseason that doesn't make it. Again, I picked this. I actually wrote this in our 68 Things to Know, which published before the games even went up yesterday. So my team inside the top 15 that I would say is the most likely candidate is Texas A&M. And then the 2 others, this is actually kind of GP-esque, but it wouldn't matter if it was 24 and 25, and if they were 18 and 21, I would still pick them. I would say Ole Miss at 24 and Rutgers at 25 are the 2 others. So those are my 3 preseason ranked teams I think are most likely to not be in the NCAA tournament. Again, history shows year after year after year after year, there are at least 3, and sometimes there are as many as 6 or 7 that don't get in.
Every team in the top 25 of the AP poll is in my top 25 and 1, other than Kentucky. So logically, I can't sit here and say I don't think I think one of these teams is going to miss the NCAA tournament, because I've got them all in the top 25 and 1 except Kentucky, and I've already told you I think Kentucky's going to the NCAA tournament.
But someone's going to miss it. Who is it?
Right. So I'm not predicting these schools will miss the tournament. I'm just saying if I've got to pick some that are more likely than others, I'd start the list with Kentucky, I guess. They brought in 7+ transfers. What we learned last year is that if you bring in that many Division I transfers, you're not good. NC State got hot and went to the Final Four, but they weren't good the entire season, and nobody else that took in that many Division I transfers made the NCAA tournament. They're the only one. So Kentucky's just a logical place to look, because their recipe to build a team is not something that has been effective. But let me be clear, I think they'll get there. Rutgers is somebody I would look at. I have Rutgers higher than the AP poll has Rutgers, but obviously in this era when you're relying on freshmen, great as those 2 are, it can get complicated. So that's one. And then I would just look at a Big 12 team that is like in the 20s. because you could just get eat up in that league, and you look up and you're 14th, and you don't even know what happened.
Yep.
And so like maybe a Cincinnati, you could look at like, and I guess Cincinnati 24th in the top 25 and 1. I think they're going to be good, but you know somebody's got to finish not great in that league, and almost anybody's susceptible to it.
I like all of those picks from you. Well done. This next one we did on a recent show, but we'll quickly reset it. Last year I said over under 4.5 non then Big Six bids to get at larges. You took 3 in total. There were 8. You said 1 from the WCC, 1 from the American, 1 from the Mountain West. I said over. I had said 6. That was still too low because there were 8 bids. We talked about this on a recent show, so no need to talk through it again. I set the over-under at 6.5 at-large bids for schools outside the 5 high major conferences. GP took 4, and I am taking 8 again. I will say 8 again in particular because of the new selection criteria. How about this one? Last unbeaten in college basketball. Great one.
Oh,
GP, you nailed it. You nailed it. I think you've done it 2 years in a row now. You picked Houston. You were correct. You said they would be the last unbeaten team after January 1. You were also correct. They got to 14-0, lost to Iowa State on January 9. Well done. I picked Virginia. I am trash. So who is it going to be this season? I went through and I looked at the schedules of every team in GP's, either GP's top 25 or my top 25. Damn, it's hard. This one is hard. I landed on Arizona because you got to pick a good team that has a schedule that could be manageable enough to pull it off. Arizona opened Monday night with a 93-64 win over Canisius. They've got Old Dominion. They play at Wisconsin next Friday. Wisconsin, for a minute there, was down like 14 points to Holy Cross, but it wound up recovering. Arizona does host Duke. I'll be at that game in a little more than 2 weeks. And then they're in the battle for Atlantis. So they have opportunities to lose. Don't get me wrong. But their road game is manageable. You know, at Wisconsin, we don't think that's a tournament team. They get Duke on the home floor, and then I think they're going to prove to be the best team in the battle for Atlantis and win that. And then other than that, they got to get through UCLA in Phoenix in the middle of December. Other than that, they're my pick. I'll say Arizona's first loss will come on January 4th at Cincinnati, and in doing so, Arizona will be the last undefeated team to take an L. What about you?
Well, since I've spent the entire offseason telling you I don't expect UConn to lose the game ever again, I'm going with Dan Hurley's Huskies.
A reminder, UConn has to play Gonzaga. You want to stick with this?
I don't think UConn's ever losing another basketball game. I'm sorry. There's nothing I've seen recently.
What happens when it does happen?
When UConn loses a game?
And how do you square this with the fact that you don't have UConn winning the national title or even making the Final Four?
We don't have time to explain that. All right. But just trust me when I tell you, I don't think they're losing a game ever again.
All right. For posterity, I'm going to say you're saying UConn undefeated in the regular season. Okay. That's your official prediction.
My official pick is that UConn will never lose again.
Last year we did points and rebounds.
But do you know what I'm rooting for?
What?
I'm rooting for Iowa State. I want it to be Iowa State. How strongly were you rooting against Iowa State yesterday?
I truly am not rooting against Iowa State. I am not. I
do what you do all the time. Fans come at me, and then I have to text somebody, and I'll be like, "Hey, I want you to know I still like you as a coach and as a person, but I hate your fans, so I'm rooting against you every game."
I'm adding this up here. Hold on. So last year we did combined. Wow. Okay. Last year we did combined points and rebounds for Zach Edey on average. Okay. I set the number at 30. I set the number at 32.0. You had 33.2. I had 32.9. Our guy blasted through it. His combined points and rebounds, 37.4. By the way, one thing I will continually take joy in is the fact that idiots online that love to hate Zach Edey, this dude is immediately adapting and is an awesome NBA rookie already.
He would be the rookie of the year if you were voting right now.
Just incredible stuff, man.
You spent all Monday sitting around acting like a Delta Devil, didn't you? You wanted to be a Delta Devil.
No, I did not. So we were both we were both accurate in that we hit the over, but we didn't even come close to his combined number. We also talked about Armando Bacot. I had it at 20.5 double doubles. We both took the over. You had 22. I had 23. Did Armando Bacot have at least 21 double doubles last season, GP?
No.
He did not. We both lost. He finished with 19 a season ago.
That's my neighbor now. Armando Bacot's my neighbor now. He's down here representing the Memphis Hustle.
Okay, well, there we go. This year, we're going to do Cooper Flagg. So Cooper Flagg last night had 18 points, 7 rebounds, 5 assists, 3 steals. That combined to 33 total, 0 blocks there. So we're going to have his combined averages for points, rebounds, assists, blocks, and steals. I'm going to set it at 32.5. Over or under combined points, rebounds, assists, blocks, steals average for Cooper Flagg in his one and only season at Duke at 32.5.
Okay, let's just add it up. I'm going to go 17 points per game.
Okay.
I'm going to go 7 rebounds. That's 24.
Yep.
I'll go 4 assists. That's 28.
Yep.
I'll go
Got to give me
two blocks. Is 2 blocks too hard, too high?
It's not for me to decide. It's for you to declare.
Okay, I'm going to go combined blocks and steals at 3. So what did I just do? 17, 7, 4. That's 29. Plus, I got it at 32.
So you got under. Okay, GP's at the under. I am also going to take the under. I tried basically hit the number that I think is going to be closest to here. I will also go under. You got it at 32 flat. I will go. I think it's going to be really close. I'm going to go 32.2.
All right, well, hold on. Did you put it at 32.5?
I put it at 32.5.
And I'm going 32.6.
Well, then
I want to be over.
You got to get. Well, what else? You got to change his averages. And what is he getting?
I want to be on the right side of history.
Well, you could be on the wrong side.
Today is the day I plan to be on the right side of history. All right.
As a fun aside here, Duke will play anywhere between 32 and 40 games this season. How many times does Cooper Flagg lead Duke in scoring?
Mm, 40% of the time.
No, I need an exact number of games.
40% of 32.
No. Stop. Give me a game total.
13. I'll go 13.
You'll go 13. That's a great number, GP.
They'll have like 5 different leading scorers this season.
Yeah. That's a great number by you. I will go.
The chat says I can't add. Did I misadd something?
No, well, you probably can't. Who cares? Keep it moving. I'm going to go 15 times. I'll say 15 times he leads Duke in scoring this season, which might be closer to 40%. I don't know. Okay, a year ago, this was ridiculous, by the way. We got into the question of whether Gonzaga would make a 9th straight Sweet 16, which devolved into you and I both singing November Rain by Guns N' Roses multiple times on the show.
We probably sing it better than Axl these days, if you know what I'm saying.
Probably true. We both said no. I have yes here. I put yes down. I have my exact notes here are yes narrowly. Now, again, I did this a couple of days ago after last night. Why the hell wouldn't you? I assume you're also going to say yes.
Of course I am.
Yeah.
I've always been a believer in the Zags. They've appeared in 2 of the past 7 national title games.
The stakes are not this high. But in all seriousness, if your life truly depended on it,
I'll bet my life. I'm not scared to bet my life.
And your life hangs in the balance. You would say yes over no.
I mean, I would never bet my life on a single elimination basketball tournament.
I know,
okay,
that's the thing.
I'm not going to bet my life on a single elimination basketball.
I'm not saying it's not your choice. You've been kidnapped and taken at gunpoint, and you're being held hostage until the Sweet 16 of the 2025 Men's NCAA tournament. And
Jesus Christ, this is getting intense.
That's what I'm saying. If those were the stakes, what would you pick? I truly would pick Gonzaga to make the Sweet 16. I really would.
I mean, I think the smart thing. I think what a smart person would say. I think if I were to bring a smart person in for counsel, they would say you should say no. That's the most likely answer. But I've always been I'm going to believe in the Zags. I watched Mark Few play goldfish with his son. I'm taking Gonzaga to make a 10th straight Sweet 16.
We also asked if UConn would make the Sweet 16 last season. We both said yes. GP's exact words were, yes, I don't think they'll go back-to-back, but I do think they'll make the Sweet 16 as like a number 4 seed. So we were both right. Here's the question this year. I already had the answers. Will UConn make a 3rd straight Final Four? I have yes. It's documented. Parrish is a resounding no. No shot. UConn not going to the Final Four for a 3rd straight year.
I want to say there's no shot, but I did publish a Final Four projection, and I did not have UConn in it. That's on me.
Only a few more here. How about this one? This is amazing. I did yay or nay. Will there be a high major firing before January 22nd, which was the exact midpoint of last season? We both said yes. We were both technically wrong because on January, it didn't happen before January 22nd. On January 22nd, DePaul fired Tony Stubblefield.
Oh, man.
Exact midpoint of the season. Yes.
That's wild.
This year's midway point is January 19th. Will there be a high major coach fired before January 19th, Gary Parrish?
No. I'm going to say no.
I also am going to say no, in part because we don't have as many candidates that would be seemingly vulnerable to that. So
hey, on that subject, let me ask you, because somebody asked me this the other day. These contracts that coaches have now are like if you want to fire somebody in January, it's going to cost you millions of dollars, right? And in some cases, tens of millions of dollars. I had a coach. We were actually talking about Mike Norvell at Florida State, the football coach, right? His buyout's like $80 million, and they're so bad. Like, reportedly, it's at least under consideration. Why wouldn't you? This is what a basketball coach said to me. Rather than pay $80 million to make the reigning national football coach of the year go away, why don't you just announce to the world, we're spending $20 million on our next football team? Just buy him the best team. Rather than spend 80 to make that guy go away, spend 20 and have the most talented roster in the country.
Sometimes the problems come from the top.
Sometimes they do, but
I'm not saying that's the case here, but
yeah, like he is the reigning national coach of the year who has done unprecedented things at 2 different spots. Yeah. He's not a dumb football coach. So rather than pay $80 million to an accomplished guy to go away, pay $20 million, keep him, spend a quarter of that on a roster and see what happens. You could do that in football and basketball, and I think you'd end up saving money. Like, rather than who's a coach on the hot seat right now, like that the leading candidate,
call Bobby Hurley or Kyle Neptune.
Okay, rather than they have kind of been trying to do this at Villanova.
They have.
So maybe it's a bad
problem. Well, usually sometimes one feeds the other. Is that you get the injection of NIL by having a coaching change, and people that have the money.
Yeah, that's true too.
I'll give you my money once we make a change.
Yeah, that's right too. So I don't know. I just thought it was an this coach just said, I bet you if you gave Mike Norvell, instead of paying him $80 million to go away, give him $20 million to spend on players, and you'll be a top 10 team again next season. I don't know. Just a thought.
Yep. I asked, will Dusty May be coaching FAU in November of 2024? We both said no. Mark one for us. This year I will ask, will Will Wade be coaching McNeese in November of 2025?
No.
I also have no, but I'm like a 59-41. No, I'm not super confident on that. In fact, I think if we made this, will Will Wade and Bryce Drew both be gone? I would lean more no than yes. I think there's a chance that at least one of them is still coaching at one of their schools next season. But those are 2 of the most prominent coaching candidates at the mid-major level. Bonus one. You mentioned Cam Jones. I threw this in this morning. Had a great night. I think he has got a chance to be the 40-point guy this season. But maybe he won't. Maybe he won't have a single one. How many 40-point games for Cam Jones this season, GP?
2. That's a hard number to get to.
It's a hard number to get to in college, but 40, like NBA, it means nothing, frankly. College, you hit 40, that's a big number. 50 is outrageous, but I'm going to say he gets there 3 times. I think because of how good he is and how he will be used, I think he's got a wonderful chance, and I think he gets 40 burger 3 times. Looking forward to it. Trivia time. How many play? You saw how the number situation.
I thought you were going to trivia time me on what time my next show starts in downtown.
We're getting out of here. We're getting out of here. Okay, give me 5 minutes and then you're clear. I know you'd appreciate this one though. You know how these players can wear any numbers they want these days. Like I was watching Kentucky and freaking Kirk Reese was wearing 77. Looks ridiculous. Whatever. How many players are wearing 69 this season?
Oh no, I knew that's where you were going. Your mind's in the gutter. I have no idea. But if you had a son who was a Division I college basketball player and he wanted to wear 69, would you advise against it?
It just depends on. I guess it depends on the son. Maybe not.
I don't think
how many guys do you think? Think about what you got to get to ask to wear 69. So
yeah, I would say there's 7 of them.
Not a single person. Credit to Ken Pomeroy who looked this up. Who will be the first that will be brave enough to wear?
Hunter Dickinson, clearly.
Well, if he didn't do it, we wait and see on the next one. But not a single person. I thought college basketball was an us sport. What's going on here? Not a single one?
I actually respect that. I don't want to say I'm not a fan of 69. I think that's a little too personal. Okay. I think that's a little too personal for the show. All right. What I mean is that I'm not a fan of like, ooh, 69. I don't find that, it just doesn't.
Is that what people do?
Yes, that's exactly what people do. They go, ooh, 69. And I'm not a fan of that. I don't like that so much.
The show is back. Last thing, and then I'm going to cut you loose. All right. It's not like you got another show to do. As always, I like to take a look at your preseason, your top 25 and 1 the day of the season, and the one that you make at the end of the season, the day after the title game. Okay. I won't get into the specifics here. How many teams do you think you had ranked the day after the title game that aren't ranked today?
Let's say 6.
Ooh, close. You had 7. What is your highest ranked team currently? That was not in your, if you did an overnight version, I'm not talking Tuesday. I'm talking on Monday. Your highest ranked team currently that you did not have ranked the day after the title game.
I think it would probably have to be clearly Arkansas.
You are correct. Arkansas was not ranked the day after the title game. They were 13th on the day of the season. The next two were Indiana was not ranked 18th, UCLA not ranked 19th. What was your highest ranked team the day after the title game that is now no longer ranked?
I do not know.
BYU, you had 13th. Of course, Mark Pope was coaching BYU at that point. Right. And you had St. Mary's 14th. You hit the Gales. They're no longer ranked. Only one team, I won't even have you guess this, but I'm always curious on this. Only one team is in the same spot today as it was the day after the title game. Marquette, 17th then, 17th now. Your biggest jumps, Baylor jumped 12 spots. They went from, what were they? Baylor was 19th up to number 7, again, prior to the loss to Gonzaga. Ohio State jumped from 26 up to 15. Creighton was at 1 point, 11, and they dropped down to 21. You had Houston number 1 the day after the title game. They're now 3rd. You had Kansas number 4. They're now number 1. Always intrigued to see how the transfer portal basically mandates these massive movements in your offseason top 25 and 1.
And some of those are just going to be like, I projected, I don't remember exactly, but I think I might have had Jamal Shead coming back because he wasn't an obvious first round pick type of guy. And then he doesn't come back. So I don't remember if that was it must have been the rationalization. I know at Creighton, there was a Trey Alexander thing. Yeah. I had Trey Alexander coming back initially. He obviously left school. So often it's going to be impacted by incorrect assumptions that I make the night of the title game about who's staying or leaving. And coaching changes will dictate a lot of this stuff. Arkansas, there was no reason to have Arkansas ranked the day after the season ended. But once you hire John Calipari, that this was always going to happen.